Hi, good day everyone. Today we are going to talk or explain more about our research paper, which entitled A Study on Low Performing Indian Students in Secondary Schools. And first of all, we should thank Dr. Nabisa who gave us these golden opportunities to do a research on this title. We are the presenter for today. The introduction about our title. The diverse and extensive changes in the status and content of education in Malaysia over the past quarter of a century have created a host of new needs and challenges that require attention. Malaysia had developed the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 till 2025 in order to address the educational needs of Malaysian students and hone the quality of education for international standard. Malaysia developed the Malaysian Education Blueprint aims to prepare students to meet the rising standards of education as a consequence of globalization, aspires to create a system whereby students have equal opportunities to build shared experience and aspiration that will form the foundation for unity as well as to maximize student outcomes within the existing budget levels. Education plays a critical role in lifting an individual's status and the status of the community that he or she lives in. Socioeconomic status is often measured as a combination of education, income, and occupation. According to Atta, education is the key driver to give all those who are lagging a push to improve their socio-economic status. According to Khazanah Research Institute, less than 10% of Indian children whose parents had either never been to school or had dropped out of primary school were able to further their studies at tertiary level. But the tertiary education level was about 70% the lowest compared to Bumiputra children at 70% and Chinese children at 79%. This is reflected in the report by KRI entitled Climbing the Ladder Socioeconomic Mobility in Malaysia. This shows the social problems of Malaysian Indian ethnic groups like school dropout and gangsterism among Indian ethnic group. And gangsterism is a major issue for the Indian community and it is spreading fast among the younger generation. According to Santiram in 1999 revealed that the general performance of the Indian students was not satisfactory. Reports on successful Indian students have shown that the key have brought fame to the country throughout their achievements in academia and sports. The success of the Tamil primary school pupils who grabbed the championship at the 35th Beijing Youth Science Creation Competition in China was a milestone for Malaysian Indians. In 2018, 15 Indian school students aged 18 to 17 years participated in the 4th Asian Yoga Sports Championship held in Korea and emerged as the second runner-up after securing 7 medals. According to Azimi Family Development Foundation 2002, a large number of Indian students are involved in negative activities such as gang fights, gambling, truancy, theft, drugs, and drinking. And this shows root cause of social problems among Malaysian Indian ethnic groups. There are 6 root causes. First, poor parental guidance, irresponsible parenting. Second, excessive drinking. Third, low self-respect. Fourth, female subordination. At fifth, depression. And the last one, apathetic community. This pie chart shows that social problems among Malaysian Indians. There are 8 social problems that happens among Indian Malaysian Indians. We can see that gangsterism hold a higher percentage compared to the other uh, social problems. And what is the meaning of low performing students? It's referred to students who had failed in a minimum of 4 of the 6 core subjects, which are Bahasa Melayu, English language, mathematics, science, moral education, and history. What are the contributing factors to academic achievement? The excellent and weak Indian students in secondary schools need different kind of support to excel in academic fields, specifically and in life in general. The high achievers are able to seek the necessary information to help themselves perform in their studies, but the at-risk students need counseling and mentoring to develop their strengths. The effort of the Ministry of Youth and Sport throughout the program Angkat dan Upaya Padu in 2014 did show some early success, but the program was limited to less than 1,000 youths. Nevertheless, a large number of them can be helped with timely guidance and support. Next, I pass to Cecilia.
Thank you, Ms. Jayaprata. Factors that influence academic achievement. There is no one factor that influences a student's academic achievement. Several factors have been identified as contributing to the student's academic achievement. Some of these factors, more prominent than others, are family, schools, teachers, students, peers. First, let's look at the family. Socio-economic status. Poverty causes unfavorable behavior and unsatisfactory academic achievements due to lack of resources. This is because they are unable to satisfy their basic needs when they face financial difficulties. Next, parents' education. Research has also shown that parents' education and careers do influence students' academic performance to a certain extent. These two factors are directly contribute to the socio-economic status of the families. When parents are educated, they understand the academic needs of their children and their capabilities, and they are able to provide for them. To summarize, many studies concluded that socio-economic status of a family and the parents' education influence the academic performance of their children. This can be explained as a chain of life. When a family's socio-economic background is strong, they are able to cater their children's educational needs. These children succeed academically and hold reputable careers. They are then able to support their children financially and the chain continues. Next, school facilities. The role of the school was significant in ensuring students' academic achievement. The role include that of the school administration, teachers, and facilities available at the school. The availability of tables and chairs, the required number of teachers and books, and computer labs to match the current needs of the learning approach were essential for a successful learning process. Next, of course, location and type of school. The location and the type of school were also significant in influencing student academic performance. If a school was located in an urban area, the school is most likely to be equipped with all necessary state of the art facilities for the students. Students will be exposed to more educational opportunities. These opportunities do contribute to student excelling academically to a certain extent. Secondly, schools can be grouped into categories. In Malaysia, schools are categories are as being high performing, cluster, residential, religious, daily school, etc. The types of schools also contribute. to the academic achievement of students because some of these schools are fully aided by the government and are able to improve their facilities. Next, relationship between teachers and students. The relationship that students share with their teachers are also determine their academic performance to a certain extent. A positive relationship between teachers and students helped students to learn better. Students were able to adapt well in the classroom and were more confident in acquiring new knowledge with the presence of emotional support. Next, streaming according to academic levels. If academically low performing students are grouped with higher achieving students, they may find the lesson challenging as they may not able to grasp the lessons as quickly as the high achievers. This may in turn lead to them becoming demotivated. Next, relevance of the curriculum. Schools plays a significant part in promoting excellent academic achievement. This include the type of school, facilities available, relationship between teachers and students' academic capabilities in coping with their studies. Self-regulation to refer to certain unconscious and unconscious process by which the human psyche exercise control over the operation of the state and in its internal processes. Basically, Baumeister believed that individuals had the power to control their mind to achieve anything in life if they put their minds into it, including their studies. Next, personality. Students' personality traits also contributed to their academic achievement. Several studies had been conducted to substantiate the relationship between these two variables. One such study conducted by Braille indicated a positive association between academic achievement and students' personality. They found that the qualities of being conscientious, neurotic, and open to experience linked the strongest to achievement relevant personality measures. Student characteristic. Another area to examine besides student personality traits are students' characters. This includes the students' intelligence, their study skills, hours spent studying, and memory sustaining capabilities. Moreover, in many situations, students' belief about education also affected their academic success. If they were optimistic that education would lead them to a better future, they may put in extra effort into achieving excellent results. Next, self perception. How students perceive themselves also determines their academic performance. Students who have goals to achieve in life view themselves as worthy. They motivated themselves to study hard and achieve those goals. To summarize this, students themselves are one of the significant factors in determining their academic achievement. Their thought processes of how motivated they are academically, their personality, and how they identity themselves influence their academic success. Next, peer group influence. Another factor that affected students' academic performance is influence from the peers. The influence can be either positive or negative. They found that a peer positive influence positively affected students' average results. It also important to note peers' belief pertaining to education and learning. If peers had a positive belief that education would lead a bright future, students may be influenced to believe the same. Next, social media. In the current era of information technology and internet, social media plays a major role in the lives of younger generation, including secondary school students. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and online games have become a trend among these groups of internet users. The use of social media is perpetuated through the existence of smartphone. Smartphone make it convenient for users to be hooked on the social media. In conclusion, there are several factors that determine students' academic achievement. The main factor include family socio-economic background, the school, students themselves, and peers. Nevertheless, there are other factors such as the use of social media, which also contributed towards the low achievement of the students.
Now, I will discuss the implications for counselors. Through this study, we can see that the role of a counselor is very important to create a group of well behave students as well as get excellent academic achievement. Therefore, a counselor needs to have the skills in making interventions or counseling that can create awareness of the thoughts and behaviors of troubled students in school. A counselor can create individual counseling that involves the troubled student to understand and be aware of the behavior throughout the course of the intervention. In addition, group counseling is conducted for understand the real situation that causes students to not give interest to their academics. Group counseling also involves several parties such as the student's family, friends, or relatives if needed. The purpose of group counseling is to discuss students' problem and make an effective decisions on that. Furthermore, counselors can also take steps by holding programs that cultivate good values among students through seminars, talks, motivational camps, workshops, and other activities that can enhance self efficacy among students. Counselors can have the opportunity to apply good values directly to students through these counseling programs. Meanwhile, counselors can find the potential or ability of students in the academic field more clearly. Counseling programs can help students to increase their potential in academic achievement through involvement in the programs provided by school counselors. Counselors also need to pay attention to the involvement of students in counseling programs that can improve their functionality in various aspects. Therefore, counselors need to play an important role in producing a useful human capital in this community. Now, I'm moving to the second point, which is increasing counselors' self awareness. Every counselor has an important role in providing support to students who have social problems in school. In addition, counselors should have self awareness of their own environment to ensure that the information shared can instill trust in the client. Counselors should be more sensitive to the information shared to be able to provide effectiveness to the counseling. Therefore, self-awareness is a professional skill that can help counselors to understand and relate client problems more effectively. It can also create awareness in the client who is involved in the counseling intervention process. As a counselor, self-awareness helps them to understanding the problems or issues of the clients. While school counselors are also an important element in raising awareness by using effective techniques. The last point is communication skills. Counselors play an important role as teachers in educating life ethics and morals by having effective communication in school. Counselors who are willing to listen and create confidence in students can create comfort for students to communicate and pay attention to guidance and counseling. Therefore, counselors who are having good communication skills are more likely to know how to find solutions for problems among students. Meanwhile, an effective communication skills can create a good relationship between students and counselors to achieve goals in a short period of time. Counselors with the good communication skills are able to conduct the intervention without any interruption throughout the interventions. A good counselor who has good communication skills can create a situation that convinces the client as well as gives more impact to the client and his problems. The implication is the counselors can set goals as well as establish a relationship between the two parties on trust. The conclusion of this study was carried out to investigate the factors that influence the academic achievement of the low-performing Indian students in secondary schools. The focus was to identify the reasons behind their failure and to suggest strategies to help them improve their academic performance. The findings indicate that parents, the school, and teachers play a role in affecting the performance of these low performing students. However, the students themselves are seen as the pivotal factor that influences their success or failures. Hence, the relevant authorities such as the Ministry of Education and non-governmental organizations should focus on programs that are able to bring about a change in the low-performing students' mindset. Such programs should develop their self-esteem and confidence, as well as provide them the tools to build the right path for their future. Thank you.